I'm so inspired to be here, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about life in general. As you go through life, you start to look back on your stories that you have, the benchmarks that you have in your life that start to stick out for you. And when you're living those moments, the weird part about them is those moments just feel like any other moment. But then weeks, months, years later, you look back on them, and all of a sudden they become way more poignant and pivotal. And on my pathway of getting here, one of the moments that sticks out to me is a point where I was in college, and I'm walking down the stairs to the basement of a building where our bookstore was. And next to me was one of the professors that I didn't have in a class, but I knew him. And he turned to me and he looked at me and he said, "You know, Terry, you look really blue. What's wrong?" And I said, "You know, I'm having a hard time. All my friends know what they want to major in. They know what they want to study. They know where they want to go. They know what they want to do. They know what they want to be. And I know what I like to study, and I know what I like to do, but I don't know what I want to be when I grow up." Now, this particular professor, very well-renowned, published a lot, lectured at Harvard, Oxford, all over the world. Late 50s, early 60s, turns to me and says, "That's funny. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up either." This story I come back to all the time because I am the education director for Heal the Bay, and a lot of people say, "How did you get here? How did you know that's what you wanted to do when you were a small kid?" No, I didn't. I knew I loved the ocean. I knew I loved to be in the water, I loved to play, I loved to study science. And along the way, it took me a long time to get to this place. And I had a lot of failures. And I feel like that's one of the biggest problems in the game of life. What school didn't teach me is how to fail. I was a really good student. I knew how to get A's. I knew how to take tests. And I'm not saying that to brag, because that really set me back later on when I was doing things that I was great at, but I didn't like. I really hated. And to be able to step away from them, I had to admit that it was okay to fail. And school had never taught me that. School had never taught me that if I couldn't excel, or I didn't want to excel at this one thing, that it was okay to step back and go another way. And it is. C.S. Lewis tells us that failures are the finger posts on the road to success. And I think that's really, really important for all of us. So then how do we find places to fail? Because school's not the way to go. Nobody's going to like it. Your parents aren't going to go home if you come home with a F on your report card and you say, "Well, I'm trying to find my way." That doesn't tend to be a great answer, unfortunately, in our world. So here's what my recommendation is. Volunteer, intern. Find a person, it may be a person in this room today, one of the speakers, that's doing something cool that you think, "Hey, I might want to do that," and volunteer with them. Learn what they're doing. Go in and see what they're doing day to day, because there you can have the opportunity to succeed or fail, or maybe just be a part of something, and maybe you're great at it, but you're like, "That's not how I want to spend my life." And you can have that safe fail system to be able to step back and say, maybe I don't want to be a doctor, or I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to be a marine biologist before you've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on school. So my challenge for you today is find some place to volunteer. Find some place to intern at. It gives you great experience. It gives you great connections to the world. And it also may help you fail in a really safe way. Thank you very much. Thank you.